Alex, just caught the end of the training session there. Looked fairly good spirits.
Yeah, obviously, winning breeds confidence, and I think that obviously today there's always a group that trains and group that recover. So I think you've got for the lads that maybe didn't play, you always have to try and make it intense, but obviously enjoyable, because it's tough when you're not always in the team. So but again, the quality of those guys that aren't training have really helped the levels come match day as well. And I said it on Tuesday, the group that trained the day before were fantastic, and it definitely helps the competition. It definitely makes the players in the team aware that these players are training really hard and that they're desperate to play. So they're good. They're enjoyable groups. You get to work with a small group, a little bit more personal, and we saw Scotty join in today, so which was great. So no, it's good spirits everywhere, because ultimately, when you're winning and and the result on Tuesday has really buoyed the group.
After the start you've had in the league, have the players set their own bar now? It's something that you can be expecting as a minimum.
Yeah, well, I think that their levels and their standards and have been exemplary since we've come back from pre-season, to be honest with you. And I think every day they come in here, they work, they want to listen, they want to work hard as a group, and absolutely they've set standards, of course. But that's not always with the ball. It's how they work together. It's the standards of that identity, our DNA of just keep going, never say die, which has been our DNA for as long as I can remember. So we have to make sure that's ingrained, but it's ingrained in the group, absolutely. And that's the individuals. We talk about character of bringing, when we recruit people, they have to buy into that DNA of the team, and we saw that, didn't we, on Tuesday, for sure. When you don't play your best football, you have to dig in, you have to come together, you have to, and we did that, and it was a great way to win. When you don't play well, but the feeling at the end there is how hard they worked, how they stayed in it together, and I really feel that when you work as hard as we are, you do get your rewards.
I guess you're fairly happy with the squad you've got at the moment, but the window's coming to a close. Are we going to see more ins or outs?
I think we've got to manage the group, absolutely, because we obviously said that we want around 22 players, because we like, not harmony, but we want everybody to feel they've always got a chance of playing, obviously minus injuries that you pick up along the way. But also we've said, all of pre-season and throughout the recruitment process is that it's 22 players of real quality that we want. It's quality over quantity for sure. So we're always looking how we can improve and where we need to improve. And there'll be players now looking at the future, thinking, are they going to play? And it's down to us to obviously speak to those ones that we feel absolutely will, and the ones that might not get as much time. Then we have to speak to them and be open and honest, and that's what we've said since the word go, that they'll always know where they stand. They're tough conversations, but when you play football and it's you've come up as a youngster and all you want to do is play on a Saturday and a Tuesday, so we understand that. So there will be players that we have to speak to, absolutely, about the future. But for now, absolutely, like, everyone's in it together. Everyone's in it together, and we've still got a week left, and so things can change, of course. But we have to make sure, we have to keep planning, we have to keep moving forward, and we're always looking to keep improving. But we've got a cracking group already, so we just need to make sure that if it is someone that comes in, that they add to what we already have.
I think I'm right in saying you've only made the one change over the 4 games in the starting 11. Do you get players knocking on your door saying, I need to be in there?
Yeah, of course, because like I just said, they're desperate to play. They can see that the team is growing, hopefully, but also when you're winning, it's it's an easier conversation to have that you don't want to always change, but also we need to be fresh and we need to have the energy in our team. We need to have to have that intensity, and when we don't have that as a group, our performances drop. They do, because that is what we are based on. We are based on that as our, again, a part of our DNA. So we're always looking to make sure people are performing at their peak, and that's why we've got the squad that we've assembled, because we feel that we've got like for like changes, and the team doesn't get weaker because of the quality we've got behind the starting 11. So I think when you win, it's very difficult to change, because it's an easy get out when if you do lose or the results change. That why did you change it? So you're always looking, but we always judge everybody on performances and how they feel and energy, and obviously at the moment the group is winning. That gives you energy anyway, because you want to stay in the team. But we have to judge that every day, and we'll judge it again come tomorrow and Saturday, whether how we feel the group looks, whether people need to come in or out. We'll make sure that we're at our best come Saturday.
Talking about Saturday, obviously you're in the position where you want to be, but you're coming up against one of the sides who are perhaps expected to be there. They're the kind of games you want to be playing.
Oh, absolutely. I think that as a player, it's a fantastic game to be involved in. Huddersfield have spent money this summer. A new manager that I know really well has gone in and might have taken people by surprise that he went in there, but he's a really top young coach manager. I did my pro license with him, and whenever he spoke, I thought he spoke real sense. I thought really his football knowledge is outstanding. So they've picked someone who I feel is a really good choice. So I know that he's had real good experiences with Ipswich now, and as a player had great experiences. So, and their team is reflecting that, and the way they play, the signings they've made have been good signings, absolutely. So we know that it's going to be a real test of us as a team. But I think that when you play in these games and you know that's coming as a player, you know that you have to be at your very best. And you have to be at your best every game, of course. But when you come into these games, we have to perform as a team, and performing with the ball, without the ball, in our organisation, all of those things that have got us results so far. We have to be at our very best, include like the basics of football. So we'll go up there, obviously, after Tuesday and the run we've been on, full of confidence, but also knowing that the fundamentals of our game of hard work, we're going to have to be at our top level, and we're all looking forward to it, because it's a great challenge for us.
And how are you looking as a squad? Obviously, one or two players that have been out longer term. Any sign of them coming back?
Yeah, well, we're hopefully getting Bez Labala back, which will be great. I think that it's been frustrating for him because he picked up a slight niggle, but tried to carry on, and because he was desperate to be involved, and we just had to we had to take the decision to take him out, because we wanted to make sure that, yes, absolutely, the start of the season you want to be at your strongest, but it's a long season, and we're going to need Bez in this group. He's a fantastic pro, and he's been around it. He's been at every game to be part of the group, to make sure he's in the change room and encouraging people and being part of it. So we'll be looking. He's coming back, which is great. Saxon and Jake Young are still a little bit behind, but looking strong still. They're looking to come back, soon, which is great. So in terms of that, Louis obviously had his operation, so he's on the mend at home, which is great news, because, like I've always said, he's a massive part of this group in terms of not only on the pitch but off it. And so we're really looking in a good shape, and the players that are in the squad are in a real positive mindset. They don't want to, any niggles that I'm sure they might have seem to go away. because they want to stay in the team, of course, and that's a really good place to be. But like I said earlier, we'll judge the group, to make sure that we pick a team that's full of energy, freshness, ready to go and put in a top performance.
And just looking around as a whole, obviously you're now top of the table on your own. Are you noticing that there's perhaps a little bit more focus on Stevenage from perhaps where you wouldn't have seen it in the past?
Yeah, I think we spoke about it last year about this small club mentality outside of these walls. I think for us, we just have to focus on us. I think we're happy to be that if people that's what they think, but we aren't that at all. We look at the sites that we turn up to every day, the training grounds. We know we're growing, we're progressing, which is great. But obviously, when you do start to put in performances, I think like we have, and hopefully that does make people look at us. We want that. You want that as a club. You want that as a player. You want that as a staff, because you work extremely hard every day. Football never leaves you as a staff member. You're constantly 24/7, and you want that to be rewarded, of course. And but the players ultimately are doing exactly the job that we ask them to do and more. They're pushing themselves to the limits every day, every game, to make sure we get results, and we just have to make sure we keep them there. I've always said there will be bumps. Absolutely, there will be bumps. And when there is, it's about how you react to it and how you come back from it. And hopefully Saturday's not one of them, because we're in a good place. But we just have to go and give our all, like we have done every game so far, and be really together, connected, everything on and off the pitch, and hopefully we can go there and people can still be talking about us after the Saturday game and continuing, because we want this club. We want everyone to know about this club, because it's a special place, and we just enjoy the challenge and embrace the challenges, and make sure that come Saturday we do exactly what we've done over the past few weeks to get a result.